Hey everyone, excited to share my latest After Effects tool, which is called Progress Bar. So in After Effects, I'm going to create a new composition. I've already got this preset installed, so under the effects and presets, I'm going to start typing progress. There it is. I'll double click, and this will add a shape layer that automatically animates from 0% to 100%. Now with this layer selected, I can go to this effect called Progress Bar and change the size of this bar. And that's gonna be the size when it's at 100%. So maybe I wanna change the width, or I wanna drop the scale. I'll drop down to 50. Okay, that's looking good. I could also change the direction it animates. So right now it's left to right. I could change that to be right to left, or I could change it to be vertical as well, top to bottom or bottom to top. I'll keep it left to right, and that's looking pretty good. So a few tricks to format this even a little better is you can, what I'll do is, let's just say I want to add a base so that I kind of get a little bit more of a sense of where 100% might be. So what I can do is I'm just going to rename this layer progress, and I will duplicate it, and I'll drag this below. I'm going to rename this base. I'm going to pull up those keyframes, and I want to make sure that that percentage is at 100%, and I want to delete these keyframes from the base because I want this to remain static the whole time. I'll change this layer to give it a white fill, and just like that, now I have a real sense of progress of where 100% is. Okay. But let's say I wanted to add some rounded corners to this. So what I could do is, again, select the base layer, and I will toggle down, click add, and then rounded corners. Now, since the height of this is 50, I know that half of that, which is 25, that'll give me a perfect semicircle on the end of this. But the progress bar is blocking the rounded corners from here. Now I don't want to add rounded corners to the progress bar because I want this part to remain flat. So what I can do is just duplicate this base layer. I'll drag this above progress, and I'm going to rename this mask. And this has the rounded corners already applied. So then I can just set the track matte on progress to alpha matte. And now it will be rounded corners on both sides and remain flat in the end of the progress. So that's looking pretty good, but now we've got this clipping issue with the stroke here. So again, I will make one more duplicate of the base. I'll drag this to the very top. I'm going to rename this stroke, and then I'm going to just get rid of this fill. And now we have a nice clean stroke on the outside. We also have a stroke on the progress bar itself. I could select maybe both of these and increase the stroke a bit. And I think that's looking pretty cool. All right, so a couple other tools I have that are also free that you can use in conjunction with Progress Bar. One of them is num. And so I'll just type in num, I'll double click this, and this is gonna add a text layer. I'm gonna rename this num to keep everything nice and organized. So right now you just see a 0, and so this is just going to be controlled by this slider here. But I want to link this slider up with the actual progress. So back to this progress layer, I'm going to hit U to bring up this percentage value, and then back on the num layer, I'm going to hold Option and click the slider stopwatch, and then using the expression pick whip, I can just attach this to the percentage value. And then I'll hit enter, and now as it animates, it's going to be the exact percentage of this progress bar wherever it's at. And since it is a percentage, I can also use num to add a percentage symbol to the end of it. All right, now that's looking pretty cool. One more thing I can do is with another free tool I have called parental controls, I can keep this number centered to the progress the whole time. So how I do that is I will just parent num to the progress bar, and that's not going to do anything initially because the position and the scale of this progress bar, or this progress layer, isn't changing. It's just the size of the shape. So when I parent this, nothing happens. Now, of course, if I move this around, obviously the child would move it with it. But with parental controls, as I can attach this layer, this child layer, to the actual shape of the parent. So back when this is 100%, I'll select the child, and since it's already parented, I can horizontally center it. And so now, when I go back, it'll remain centered to the path of this progress bar. So yeah, I'll play that back, and that is looking pretty cool. So in a few easy steps, and with 3 free tools, although donations are accepted, I was able to make this neat looking progress bar that's all controlled via just one value and just a couple keyframes. Hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or shoot me a message on Twitter. And until next time, take care.